Okay, in this video module, we're going to take a look at comments. Comments are extremely important when you begin your coding career. Comments are a way for the programmer to simply leave remarks in their code. And if you remember in the last lesson, we actually created this Scratchpad file over here where we were able to drop specific information in there. And it just killed me to have to do that because it would have been much nicer to have left this information in our actual script so that we wouldn't have had to jump back and forth to another file to look at information, especially the key information. So a comment is nothing more than a remark for yourself or for some other programmer that may come in behind you and have to look at your script. It's a way for them to see what it was you were thinking. Because believe it or not, when you start getting into some really complex logic, someone comes behind you, they may have a great understanding of programming, but that doesn't mean that they're going to know what you were thinking and the way you've laid out your logic in your code.
Right. Through comments, you can document exactly what type of logical scenarios you've come up with.
Precisely.
And that way when someone else reads your code, they're not looking at a ton of commands. They're looking at, oh, this is supposed to gather information about lights and then cause something to happen.
You got it. So let's go ahead and introduce some comments. Of course, comments will not be executed. They're just simply ignored by the Doom engine. Now, we have two types of comments. We have single-line comments and we have multi-line comments. A single-line comment is simply 2 forward slashes like that. And then what happens is when the engine detects the 2 forward slashes, everything on that line is ignored. The processor doesn't start picking up anything, or the what's the word I'm looking for?
The
engine doesn't start reading again until the next line.
It's almost like it sees a comment and says, okay, this is a one-line comment, let's go to the next line, which might actually contain code.
There you go. So this is a one-line comment. Now, this next line, at this point, that's going to give me a syntax error because it's going to start reading again. Okay, I could do this is another one-line comment. I can do multiple one-line comments back to back. I mean, it's just going to continue ignoring until we get away from those. But if you wanted to do multiple comments, multiple lines of comments, then you need to use, or it would be best to use, a multi-line comment, which goes like this. It is a /*. You'll notice, by the way, because of the Doom script highlighter, that everything is grayed out inside our comments right there. So right now, let's see, we'll say, this is a multi-line comment. We can type and type and type for as long as we would like to stuff. Now to end it, it is */. You'll notice that all of our color coding has come back to our script down here. So /*, and at this point it's not about a single line because hence the name, multi-line comment. It's about multiple lines. So as soon as the system sees a /*, it goes into ignore mode until it sees the opposite, */. Because of this, because of the way this works, we cannot have nested multi-line comments. We can have a nested single-line comment. I do //, and down here I could say, here we go again. It's irrelevant because remember, this entire, as soon as these 2 forward slashes are picked up, this entire line is ignored. So it doesn't care that there's these 2 forward slashes down here. It never even sees that. It just jumps down to the next line. Up, same thing, completely ignored. But watch this. What happens if we had multi-line comments here? So let's jump over with another /*, and */. Ooh, how beautiful is that? The color coding even shows us the problem. Because everything here is color coded, it's going to be processed. So right now we go into ignore mode. Ignore, 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 ignore. It's just ignoring until it finds the closing symbols. There you go, close. That's the end of the multi-line comment. So this is the multi-line comment. So at this point, it's just going to jump right back up into code. Excuse me, what's that? Error, we have a problem. So you cannot do nested multi-line comments like that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so with this in mind, I can come back in here now and say the following. The key locations that we will be moving our platform to, something like that. I don't know. But since we're dealing with multi-line here, let's just go ahead and do this right here. We'll do such. I'm just going to kind of clean all this up for just a minute. Like that. And maybe tab all this over a little bit. I'm just being kind of picky now. And then come down here. Let's jump over and grab these guys right here. Come back over here. Let's paste that. And then we can just come in and grab and tab those guys on over. So now we have our key information. And doesn't that look so much better?
Yep. Count the this is a one-line comment line though.
How's
Here's
that
our
get
key
in
information. By the way, this is a comment.
there? There you go. The key locations that we will be moving our platform to. Key 1, key 2, key 3, key 4. And maybe make that look a little bit neater as well. And something like that. Okay, now single line comments can be great also in troubleshooting code. If you have a line in your code that you suspect to be causing some sort of problem, you can always go in there and temporarily disable that line by throwing in 2 forward slashes like such. You could also put comments at the end of a line. This will move the platform or lift. I don't know, whatever. So at this point, processes. We simply start ignoring until we get to the next line. It's that simple. Again, it's really important to come through here and start adding in the comments. Print some stuff to the console. Wait for 2 seconds before we move anything. And then we can just come back down here. Hello. Move our lift. And then we can just keep adding these lines, these comments, or we can add them over here to the end just to make it look a little bit neater. So now we've put in some information up here that we can refer back to easily to get information to plug in down here. We've left notes throughout our code here, just letting us know what it was that we're doing. That's comments. Comments, again, as Logan said earlier, it's a way of documenting what you're doing, or it's a method of troubleshooting your code. I mean, if I wanted to, I showed you guys a single line for troubleshooting, but don't forget, we can also come in here and say, I suspect this entire area.
Say you've just written a very complex mover that has 50 keys,
Yeah.
but there's an error hidden in there somewhere. You can block out that entire move section just to see if the error was contained within or not.
You got it. And so it's a really important method for troubleshooting. So let's go ahead and take those out, and that's pretty much going to wrap up this level on using comments.
Listen.
Listen.